So welcome to Intuition 4. Classes that I teach are really dense with information. We have some goals. We have 5 goals for this class. And every single one of them is really integrated with all the others. So the main goal, even though we're talking about clairvoyance, and a lot of people get really excited about that, the goal is clarity of perception. Okay, so goal number 1 is to understand the need for clarity in perception so that you can see clearly what is going on around you and hear clearly what's embedded in the voice of people that you're talking to, so that you can feel the hidden feelings of all the people that you're dealing with or the situation that you're in. That's clarity. Okay, and there's maybe a few others as well. Let's admit here. Goal number 2 is to understand the connection between inner silence and clarity. That's a very big deal. Most people spend their entire life running through these sets of what are called tapes. Therapists and counselors call them old tapes. And they are old voices, old thoughts, old ideas, memories of old situations that didn't end well for you. They were either painful or they were embarrassing or they were irritating or something. And that inner noise affects your perception. And when you cannot get out of that rut of perception, you can't see clearly. What is it you need to see today? What is it you need to know right now? So there comes a point where inner silence is absolutely a treasure. It's an absolute treasure. It brings you peace when everybody else is freaking out. It allows you to sleep when everybody else is up and down all night long. Inner silence allows you to really hear, really listen without preparing for what you're thinking you're going to say in answer to whatever you're listening to. You just listen. And in that listening, you're knowing, you're feeling, you're understanding something about the other person. Okay? They're presenting something to you. There might be something in there for you, but the real goal is to understand the other. Okay? So that's goal number 2. Understand the connection between inner silence and clarity. When you become absolutely silent and the past doesn't intrude and the present doesn't and the future doesn't, then you're in a timeless moment. And that is a moment in which you can see, hear, and know without all kinds of what I'll call interferences that really get you off track, that don't serve you well. So goal number 3 is to examine the degree of clarity you have in your own life. How clear are you? That's a big deal. You can't reach inner silence or clarity if you don't have the inner silence, and you won't have any degree of clarity if you don't really know thyself. You have heard me say that before. Know thyself. That is so important. In order to examine your clarity, we'll do a little bit of root work. We've talked about this before, but show you how to do root work. And some of that, I don't really deal with it going forward in this class, but root work can be done in order to heal past issues, forgive yourself, forgive others, et cetera, as well as future issues that you are concerned you might have to deal with. Okay, so root work is really pretty powerful and it's handy. So number 4 is to clear your perception. That's the goal. And understand root work in order to get to the roots of a perceptual habit. 99% of our perception is habit. We see things the same way we did yesterday and the day before and the day before that. We might see things a little bit differently from when we were 4 years old, but sometimes no. Sometimes we're still looking at the world like a 4-year-old or a 10-year-old or a 16-year-old. You can't step into your power if you're doing that. So that's a big, getting to the roots of your perception, that's a big deal. Okay? So handy, so powerful, and I'm going to say so freeing. So, and it also introduces you to something that I'm going to call humility. Humility is really just peace with other people's perception of you without getting caught in that. That whole business of, of being at peace with other people, regardless of what they're going through, regardless of their attitude or how they see you, you need that. You need that a whole lot, because otherwise life is too stressful. And you end up avoiding the very people that are here to teach you something. Every interaction is a learning experience. So, goal number 4, to clear your perception and understand root work in order to get to the roots of a perceptual habit. And then the last goal, number 5, is to practice clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, clairgustance, clairnascence. Okay? Just practice. It is in practicing that you begin to learn, oh, that's how I see that sort of thing. Oh, that means this to me. You begin to develop your own interpretation of symbols and what they mean. There are universal symbols, and then there are personal. And, you learn the language of energy. We talked about that in intuition too. But that is something that is really highly, that ability to, to be able to practice and learn from what you see. That was something that I heard over and over in the beginning of my own journey, right after Kundalini. It was like, okay, are you learning from what you see? And the answer for me at the beginning was no. What do you mean, am I learning? That didn't sink in at all. So our whole focus here is one that is really to reach at least some of these goals and to be able to gain a little bit of peace of mind, a little bit of clarity, and a lot of power. Okay? The power to heal yourself and to become your whole self is where you want to go.